Warrior Healing Center, and this is the Veteran-Owned Business Network. And we do a podcast every week at 5 o'clock on Thursdays, about an hour long. And we're here because we're supporting not only the Warrior Healing Center, but each other. We're a bunch of veteran-owned businesses that are trying to make a good go of it, and we're supporting each other and reaching out to the public to also get their support, because we're in a small town. In a small town like Sierra Vista, you got to get a lot of support from the whole town.
Well, it's a good community for that.
Yeah,
they're very supportive.
So once again, the Warrior Healing Center, just to remind everybody, all the good that they do, it's tremendous. They help veterans, all veterans. It doesn't matter what branch, Army, Navy, Marines, even the Air Force. No,
no.
Guys don't have plug. Even the Air Force.
I think I wasn't in the Air Force.
We're gonna get with all kinds of issues, whatever the problem. Seriously, whatever problems you might be having, whether it could be, struggling financially, struggling with maybe some kind of dependency, anything of that nature, they help you. And they have the resources, the contacts to guide you in the right place for the right kind of help. That's the key, the right kind of help. So take advantage of it. If you need the Warrior Healing Center, I know they've helped myself. They've helped other business owners of our group. They've helped. So they do a lot for this community. But today, we have another guest. Now, first of all, Eric is missing today. We don't have him as my co-host. He's going to be greatly missed. Eric, if you're out there watching, you're already missed, so you know. But he'll be back hopefully next week. He had to take care of some business of his own. But we have a guest again tonight. And this guest, another veteran and another business owner, but also has kind of a unique business because she has the ability to help other businesses succeed. That's kind of unique. Your business can actually help other businesses succeed. So this is Giselle, and tell us the name of your business.
Giselle Small Business Solutions. I do bookkeeping and payroll, as well as file sales tax for businesses, small businesses.
So you not only can help businesses keep their finances straight, you can also help them keep out of trouble with the IRS.
Those sales tax paid and get those payrolls done. And yeah, you always have to pay the tax man. Sorry.
Yep, tax man. Yep, and payroll. I mean, there's a lot of all the rules with payroll.
Payroll taxes can be difficult.
I would not want to tackle payroll on my own, to be honest, because that can get pretty complicated.
It can, yeah, especially if you have employees that have special situations, So.
Yeah, I was even reading about, because I always thought that I'm kind of big on the whole insurance issue of how much we spend on insurance every month, and I always thought that I was paying for my unemployment insurance, and then I looked into it, and I know my employer pays for that.
Yeah.
And then I was reading that there's actually a federal and a state tax for unemployment. 2 taxes that you have to cover. So if you're in business and you don't know that kind of stuff, you can get yourself in trouble.
Yeah. And that's where the bookkeeper comes in handy, or the CPA, your accounting professionals. They'll come in and they'll help you with that. Yep. And if you're behind, there are, I don't do it, but there are CPAs and other professionals that can help you with the IRS and with the state on getting caught up if you have back taxes that are owed, and you start getting those letters. The thing is, don't wait. When you get the letters, don't wait, because it's not going to go away.
Right.
It's going to follow you.
You're going to pay either now or later, and
it's like that little newspaper kid following you, going, "I want my $2." You know.
And if you pay later, you're gonna. If you're gonna pay later, you're gonna pay more, right?
Right.
You're gonna pay more.
The longer you wait, the more penalties and interest they tack on, and they do charge that.
Yeah.
So because it's a debt.
So it's another example of just get the right help.
Exactly. I always tell people, stay calm, hire a bookkeeper. You'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, first be preventive. If they hire you, they can be preventive right from the get-go and not get into that kind of situation.
Yeah, and a business owner, they're thinking they're going to open up their doors and clients and the customers are going to come and everything's going to be grand. But then they get busy with the business of the business, and the books kind of suffer. So, even if it's been a while and you haven't had a bookkeeper, just come see me, go see somebody. It's more for your peace of mind. It's just like you have a piece of pie. You have a pie and it's full and your dish is full of pie, and then you take that one piece away and now you have less that you have to think about.
Right.
And I had somebody tell me a while ago, she's like, there's 3 things you need to have in business. You need to have an accounting professional, bookkeeper, and a good lawyer, and, a CPA.
Yeah.
Somebody to take care of the taxes, somebody to take care of the bookkeeping, and somebody to take care of your legal issues. So
now, if somebody does have an issue that they need to get resolved, do you have contacts that you could refer them to, like a CPA or that kind of help?
Yes. So. I worked for 2 CPAs here in town. Actually, it was the same company, but the company changed hands. So there were 2 separate people that I worked for. And I have another CPA, well, she's not a CPA, she's an EA, which is an enrolled agent with the IRS. So if you have IRS issues, she's the one you want to see. Mm-hmm. So yes, I have other people that I can refer you to. I do the monthly type stuff.
Right, right.
Your monthly statements, your receipts, everything else that you have.
The old, what they referred to in the old days as a profit and loss statement.
And I still refer to it as that, yes. But, and the reason I started my business actually is I had lost my full-time job. I was working for a CPA and things changed, and he had to, downsize a bit. And I have worked for him since then, but I decided I wanted to do my own thing. So I started it as a home business in 2015, and I got a few clients, but then I was still working outside the home as well. So, and last year I decided to go into a brick and mortar. So.
Oh, did you?
I have been. I've had an office since May of last year. I just had to move this June, but I'm in the same area. I just had to go to a different suite.
Okay.
So.
Because your kind of business, you could easily work from home.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
So
a lot of it's remote. Yeah.
So why did you choose to open an office?
Well, it sort of seemed like the next step. I wanted to do it more. I wanted to do it full time. So, and I'm a member of a professional group, Professional Women of Excellence. It's run by Miss Vera Gates. William.
Oh, I know her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everybody in town knows her.
AGW Entertainment.
Hi, Vera, if you're listening.
Shout out. We love you.
Yeah.
But she's been a very big mentor to me in the business world, and she and of course a longtime friend and colleague is Pam Anderson, who owns the Landmark. So they're 2 big people in my corner.
Well, I bet you I know where your office is, but I'm gonna ask you to tell our audience, where is your office located?
It's in the Landmark Plaza, next to the Landmark Cafe. It's suite number 3. And actually, Pam and I share that office, so she has offices in there as well.
Yeah, and that is one of the nicest facilities.
Yes.
On Fry Boulevard, especially on that end, and you got the new West End development there. And
it looks so nice. Yeah. It is so nice. I go out walking at lunchtime just to get some air and look around because it's so pretty now that they've got it all
Some of the other buildings down the street need a little work, but where you're at, that is it's always been an eye appeal on Fry Boulevard.
The owners take care of it. The management company take care of it, and they're really good at that.
So now so now your clients can not only come see you, but they can go
and have lunch at the Landmark.
Lunch at the Landmark, or breakfast if it's in the morning. Yeah. And then
have yourself a mimosa. Have yourself,
Yeah. As soon as you said that, I was like, I bet I know where she's located. So now you know you need. Now, do you do personal, non-business accounting? No.
I focus on the small business. And I decided to do that because when I worked for the CPA, I felt that it was not that they neglected the small business, because they don't, but that, a lot of small businesses, they don't feel that they can afford somebody year round. So at the end of the year, they bring in all their receipts and 12 months of bank statements and and the CPA at that time is just focusing on getting taxes ready and done, and so it's difficult for both of them. Plus it's a little more expensive with a CPA.
Especially if you're bringing in a mess.
Yeah.
So you sort it out.
You're gonna pay one way or another. And my philosophy in starting was that, small businesses are so busy with just the day-to-day of their business, trying to, get their customers taken care of and their clients taken care of, that, a lot of times it's a small person. It's either one person or maybe two family members that are just too busy, So, and then, they go home and the books sit in the back. And they just fill the box with their receipts every month and whatever. And so, I tell them, bring your box down to me. I'll take care of it. We'll make you a nice profit and loss statement, and you'll be all set. But the thing is if you're doing that, you can't see where your business is.
Right. So you're not even sure if it's profitable.
Right. So, and you don't know if you're spending on things you shouldn't, or you're not spending on things you should be spending on. Where can you save money? Where can you cut costs? But if you don't have that idea, if you don't have it up to date and, at a fingertips, at a fingertips click on the computer, you're not going to know.
Right. Especially the variables. Right. Because every business has those fixed expenditures, okay, this is how much my rent or lease is, and but then you have all those variables, and if you're not keeping track, you might have a month where you're like, well, we did pretty good business today, but where's the money? Wait a minute. We had pretty good business this month, but I don't see it. It's and then they find out that there was a bunch of little expenditures that they bought that month that maybe they don't normally have to, and those variables and maybe they didn't even, record them.
Right.
And they've just kind of forgot about it. If you go and buy something small, you don't always think, oh, I got to make sure I write this down and keep accounting of it.
Well, and that's the thing, and people ask me, well, what's the most important thing for like taxes? Well, of course, your expenses, you have to keep track of your business expenses and you have to keep track of your income. But another big expense, especially for, say, landscaping or contracting, or you do a lot of traveling to your clients, or you do a lot of traveling for your business, that mileage,
Yes.
that mileage at tax time is usually one of your biggest deductions, besides if you have equipment and vehicles depreciation. Those are your two big items. And the government, the IRS wants to see logs. They want to see mileage recorded. They want to see, what the reason was. So I always tell them they need to keep a log. And you start on January 1st with your beginning mileage, and then each trip, your beginning and ending mileage, how many miles and what the purpose was. And that is a big deduction.
Yeah.
But
I know I have that one because I drive all the way to Fountain Hills.
And if you're driving to get supplies, driving to get merchandise, driving to get, say you have a convention, that's part of your business, like Mary Kay does conventions, or any of your sell at home products.
Like Eric is on right now. That whole trip,
Eric,
that whole trip is deductible.
Right, because it's for the business.
Right.
Right, because you're learning about new products, you're learning about new innovations that they're coming out with, and that you're going to then pass on to your clients.
So you can not only help with the bookkeeping, but you can also help advising. So, if your client comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm going to take a customer out to lunch. Can I write that lunch off?" You can advise them on that kind of stuff.
Well, I do know about taxes and I do know about the deductions. I try not to kind of cross that line, though, because...
With the CPA.
Right, because I don't prepare taxes in my office currently. Hopefully, maybe sometime down the line, I'll start doing that, which I plan to. But right now, I'm focusing on the bookkeeping part of it and the payroll. And but yes, I know I've prepared taxes for many years, but and for other companies that I worked for. But yes, and the meals, those meals are very touchy with the IRS. You absolutely have to have a business reason.
Right.
So if it is meeting with a client, I would write it down in the mileage log and where you went and what for, and put the receipt in there with that, so that everything is together, and write on the receipt, lunch with client, blah, blah, blah. And, but the meals, they've been changing the last few years. So it's very imperative to get that information from your tax person.
Right.
That they know, they know the up-to-date information on that. Because I know it's been changing a lot. There's been a lot of changes.
That's like the mileage, too. It changes every year. You got to, the amount per mile.
They increase it usually.
Yeah. Well, recently it's been going down.
Has it?
Yeah. I know it's like the last couple of years, and I think it went down instead of up. I was like, well, it's been a couple years, but usually it increases. But that you got to keep up on that stuff because it changes every year, and you're like, oh yeah, I get whatever 0.51 cents, and then the next year you find out it's different.
Yeah, and every year, as a tax preparer, you're required to take what they call the after tax program, which it gives you all the updates for the upcoming year, that the changes, and it's very important that they keep up with that. But it's required by the IRS that they take it.
Okay. So all those small businesses out there, not just veteran-owned businesses, all of you, the Sierra Vista. Now, I imagine you cover more than just Sierra Vista. You'll take clients. Cochise County.
I am currently. I was recently certified by the BBB, So, and they're in Tucson.
Well, congratulations.
So yeah, it was really strange. You know, my little business way out here in Sierra Vista. But you can go to their website, you know, and see my business profile on that. And but yes, I want to break into the Tucson area.
For any of you younger people that don't know what the BBB is, it's the they may not. Yeah, it may not.
It's true.
It's
true.
the Better Business Bureau. It's been around literally for decades. And if the Better Business Bureau gives you a positive rating, that's a big deal because they look into your business. They see if you have any bad marks on your...
They do a vetting process, and it's pretty intense. But, you know, it was a total surprise to me. So I was thinking, I'm not a big business.
And that's an important thing. Honestly, that's an important thing to look at. If I was going to look at hiring an accountant or a CPA, that's one thing I'm going to want to know. Are they rated with the Better Business Bureau? And I know even the IRS, you know, if you have a CPA that has a questionable background, the IRS will probably audit you. But if your CPA has a really clean record and a clean background, you're less likely to get audited. So their reputation with the IRS is important.
Oh, yes, your reputation with the IRS is important.
Yeah.
But I don't know about all of that. But, you know, and I'm sure it's somewhat true. You know, the IRS does keep track of questionable practices.
Right.
So if
same thing with a business. If a business, if
they keep track of that stuff, and now they're really looking at the mileage deduction, from what I understand. So it really has to be well documented.
Mm-hmm.
What you're claiming has to be well documented.
Right. So a lot of things to think about. So all you business owners out there, veteran-owned or non-veteran-owned businesses, small businesses, good advice. Look at getting an accountant. We have one right here, a professional that can help not keep track of your books, but also keep you out of trouble. Well, okay. Well, in a sense.
They got to keep themselves out of trouble.
Yeah. But I mean, you know what I mean.
We'll get their finances.
Yeah. You know what I mean. Keep them out of financial trouble. And,
you know, the whole thing with having a bookkeeper and accounting professional, it really does just keep you straight with your finances. Yeah. And, you know,
and they can focus on the other parts of their business.
Exactly. So that's what I say to people, you know. I always say, how can you not afford it? Because in the end, you're going to have to pay for something one way or another. You're either going to have to pay your CPA to get a whole year of receipts already for tax season, or you can pay for it throughout the year. But if you do it throughout the year, you can stay on top. You can say to yourself, well, I need to get this, or I need to purchase this equipment. Do I have the money? And then you can go and you look at your finances. You can see, yes, I do, or no, I don't. Do I need to get a loan? Do I, you know, that's the whole point of having somebody help you with that part of your business, so you can concentrate on what you need to do for your clients, for your customers.
Yep. Oh, very good. And now you are a veteran yourself.
Yes.
And your background is?
I served 92 to 95, so I served under Bill Clinton.
Wow. That's when things were getting cut. You survived the cuts.
I did.
Or at least for a little while.
I did my basic training at Fort Jackson, both my basic and AIT at Fort Jackson in South Carolina. I remember one drill very well because we were out drilling on the blacktop and it was summertime, and the tops of my ears got burnt. Oh my gosh, I have never felt such pain in my life. Even when I fractured my pelvic bone, it wasn't that bad. It was like my whole top of my ears were fried. I'm out there going. But, and then my first station, they flew me over to Korea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was stationed at Camp Hovey, which is behind Camp Casey, kind of in the middle of the country. But there was only one time we were locked down for a weekend because the college students were protesting outside the gate.
So your first assignment was overseas?
Was Korea.
Yeah, right after
I
AIT.
had never been out of the United States in my life. Yeah. Let me tell you. It was interesting.
What was your job?
I was a legal specialist. It was 71 Delta.
Oh, okay.
And,
so you got your start in the military in this. Okay.
I wanted to pursue it on the outside, but I kind of went into the accounting.
But I can see how they relate.
Lots of rules.
Yeah.
You know, lots of.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, but it's different in the military because of the UCMJ.
Right.
So it's specifically written that you had to have committed a crime in order to get there. So, you know, there's not a lot of room for conjecture, but it was fun. It was very much an interesting. At the time, I had my first 2 children, so it was kind of hard because I was over there without them because it was an unaccompanied tour.
I know how that is. Yeah.
So, you know, my oldest son was 2 or 3, and my daughter was maybe 2. So
you came in when I got out because I got out in '92, and it was during the cuts,
right,
when they were reducing the military budget drastically, and my first enlistment was up, and went and talked to the recruiter that basically said, we're not offering anything.
Anything great.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Nothing at all, or you can get out. Because that was a rough time for the military, because financially, they didn't. Their budget got cut a lot. Of course, it was peacetime. You know, Desert Storm was over, and they were like, okay, the Cold War was over.
I think I went in between Desert Storm. Was Desert Storm before or after Gulf? I went in between 2 of them, got in and out before that. Yep. And it was it was peacetime. I think it was the last real peacetime we had.
Yeah, the Cold War was over. Desert Storm was over. The problems in the Balkans hadn't started up yet.
Yeah.
So it was a short peacetime that you were in. Well, that was a good time to be in the Army.
Yes, it was. I enjoyed it. When I was over in Korea, I got to go visit a monastery, which was really cool, which I thought was strange because they had a woman monk. And I was like, that was very interesting to me because I didn't think they allowed them in the orders, but there she was.
Wow. Wow, I didn't know that either.
But, it was the temples were just beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get to travel and see other parts of the world.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the benefits of being in the military.
Well, that was the only place they sent me overseas. Then when I came back to the States, they sent me to Fort Leavenworth. And I worked inside the disciplinary barracks.
Oh, really? Okay. What it's famous for? It's like,
well, back then it was still military control. I think it's just a federal system now.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not sure.
Federal?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I know
that
there's
a lot of other stuff there.
It.
Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff at Leavenworth. I got some coworkers that go there for simulation programs. So there's a lot of things there, but historically it's famous for
Well, when
the
I was
Army
there, we
prison.
had the officers training school or the officers school.
And that's there too?
Is it still there?
I
I don't
don't know.
know.
You don't know?
But of course, I was there in '93. So,
Yeah. No, we don't have any. Oh, Eric did. Eric said, hi, friends.
Eric.
Eric is listening. He is. See, he's still with us in spirit.
Yay.
Distance. Yeah, we miss you, buddy. But we're carrying on without you. We got a good
We're
show
muddling
going.
through.
So, yeah, talking a lot about the military background. Again, every veteran that has served their country and then opens a business deserves your support. That, really, they deserve, out there in the community. The very first show we did, the one thing I talked about was what we all had in common, because we're all different. Veterans are not all, we're all different people. We all have different backgrounds and different goals. But I think one thing we have in common as a veteran business owner is innovation and dedication. We served our country. We don't stop. We think we go out there.
The Energizer.
Yeah, we go, okay, what am I going to do with my life now? and whatever we pursue, we're dedicated to it.
Right.
Like you are, because you started at home. You started to grow the business. You got comfortable, and you said, "Nope, I'm now gonna go brick and mortar. I'm gonna open up an office, and hopefully, you're gonna keep expanding."
It really is a big step because there's a lot more expenses to go on.
Right. Yep, you got the overhead now.
You have the overhead now, so when you're doing it at your home, you've got a little space for your office or whatever, and you're there. Yeah. But
much less risk.
And
now you got
much
more
less
risk.
Yeah. There's more risk, but the risk is worth it. Because you get out there and you get out of your comfort zone,
right?
And you just put yourself out there
and your
for
client
everybody to see.
And your clients are gonna like the fact that you have an office that they can go and see you.
Right, and that was one of the things. It was nice. I enjoyed working at home. But, when you're home and you have a home business, and if you're like me, I didn't have children at that time. They were mostly grown. So I just had my fourth son, my last son, with me, and he was a teenager. So, he did his own thing. But, you have the dogs coming in, and you have the cat come in, and they want your attention.
Your client comes over, and you're like, I don't like cats.
Then your significant other comes in the room and says, honey, what's this? Do you have this? Where did you put this? Yeah. And you try to put those borders around you saying, this is my business time,
Right.
Doesn't always work, and then if you're a business owner and you're at home and say you are a working mother or you are a working family and you have little ones, they don't understand
right.
I can't go to see mom. Why? She's right there.
And I think what you did is a great example, though, because, and this again, I'm speaking to any veterans out there that are even thinking about maybe doing a business of some kind. If you're able to start at home to test it out, it's actually pretty wise because the risk is very low.
Right. And you can get your feet wet.
Yeah.
You can get a feel for the industry that you're looking at and what the, common fees are that they charge, and you can gauge yourself to them.
And then if you get to a point where you're starting to see some success, then you can start to kind of, well, is it time to maybe move out of the house? And a good accountant can help you make that decision. Your bookkeeper can say, hey, you can actually afford at this point to maybe look at moving out and getting your own facility. So I think what you've done is an excellent example to future veteran business owners of maybe how you want to approach it. If you don't have a lot of capital and you don't want to take that risk, you can start a business at home, and then if it's successful, move it.
Well, I tell you what Ms. Vera always tells me. Get out of the box and then crush it. because you're not going to get back in it. So you just keep going forward. Even if, it takes time to build clientele and it takes time to build a reputation around your area. So even if you think it's taking too long, it's probably taking the right amount. It's just, you're like, where is everybody?
Right. Are you?
I opened my door, I put my shingle out, where is everybody?
Yep.
That's exactly the truth. And it takes a while.
Yeah.
It just takes a while. And of course, these last few years have been really, really hard for businesses. So, you just have to kind of hang on and have faith that it's going to change.
Yep. And my stomach has been growling, so I apologize. Hopefully, the audience can't hear it, but
I think they can.
I am hungry. I am hungry. My stomach has been growling.
I left work early because my stomach was growling.
I had a very.
And I didn't want to come here starving.
Yeah.
And have you go, what's going on with you?
I thought about stopping and getting a bite, but I didn't have time. I had a doctor's appointment, and then I had to.
Yeah, I left my office. Well,
I
had to take my dog with me to the office now. Poor thing. She lost her mom. I lost a mother a few months ago. So she has really bad, separation anxiety. Mm-hmm. So I take her to work, which is nice because I own the place. Right. So I can take her to work with me. So that's another benefit of having your own business. Yes. If you have a pet that you have to bring with you.
No, we don't bring our pets to the chocolate shop though.
Oh yeah, they need all the profits.
Well, because it's food.
And chocolate is bad for them.
Yes, it is, and because we have food, we can't do that. But otherwise, you can. Yeah, a lot of advantages. So we're all examples, veterans out there. If you're thinking of doing something, and innovation again, what's your idea? You have help right here at the Warrior Healing Center with all of us. You agree? We would help a veteran, right? You
Definitely.
would,
Definitely.
give them some pointers.
Help anybody that wants to, that needs it.
Because we've all learned some hard lessons. I'll tell you that. Sometimes you have to learn things the hard way.
What do they say? You have to adapt and.
Yep.
I forget what the saying was, but it's.
Well, that was like JD when I had him on the show. It was amazing what he told me. It was during the COVID period. He had just opened up his business like a month before the shutdown or 2 months. So you imagine, you just spend all that money, you got it all set up, you're excited, and you open it up, and next thing you know, you're told you got to close. But he got innovative, and he decided, you know what, I could make my products for people to come and take home. Yeah. And then he decided to start selling the pipes themselves, which he didn't do in the beginning. So he got very innovative, and to survive through that period of time.
Adapt and overcome.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I was really impressed with what he did. We were fortunate; we didn't have to close our store during that time.
Eric is asking if he has to bring food next week. Of course.
No. Well, I'm not going to tell you no, buddy. Yeah. Usually I had a very small lunch today. It's just, I'm looking forward to a good dinner. Let's put it that way. But if you want to bring food, no, we can't. We'll be sitting here.
I'll be here next week too.
We'll have a whole bunch of guests every week.
Everybody's gonna want some.
We'll have a whole bunch of guests. We'll all sit here.
Especially if it's Gunny's.
Oh yeah.
Bring Gunny's barbecue.
Gunny's barbecue every Thursday. It might disturb the show a little bit. Like a bunch of people.
Everybody be eating and you trying to ask questions.
So, now, how did you end up in Sierra Vista? If you were in the military way back in the early 90s, how'd you end up here?
I was born in California. My stepfather that I grew up with was a Marine. And we moved from California to North Carolina, back to California. When I was 12, we moved back to California. And then we moved from California to New England when I was 14. and I kind of got stuck there. That's where all my kids were born. That's where I got married. That's where I lived most of my adult life. I decided to move here because my mom had moved here years before, and she loved it, and I wanted to get out of the snow because I was a California girl. And I never got used to the winters.
And then
ever.
you moved to southern Arizona and found out
I
sometimes we have
moved
snow.
And it's funny you say that
We have snow.
because I moved here, and originally I moved to Bisbee because that's where my mother was living. So I moved to where she was because she was the only person I knew here besides my brother. So we went to, but New Year's Day it snowed.
Yeah.
In Bisbee. And it was so funny because we got like 4 inches, and it was all melted by 5 o'clock in that afternoon.
Right.
My son went out and played, and he was 10 when we came here. And he went out and he says, I'm not even wearing a jacket, Mom. Because it was hot. It was still sunny. It was like, I don't know. I think that the temperature got up to like 70 or 80. So that all the snow went. And I said, I can deal with this snow. I don't have to shovel it. I don't have to scrape it off my car. It's not frozen to my car, so I don't have to chip it off my car so I can get in it.
It melts on its own by the end of the day.
It melts on its own. Joseph had fun playing in it. Hey, I'm good. Yeah. We've
had a couple years. I remember back in, because it was about the time we bought our house out in Hereford, 2010 and 11, we had those winters where we had some pretty heavy snow and ice. Yeah.
No, I wasn't here at that time. I came here in 2012.
Oh, you missed those.
I missed those.
Yes, I'm telling you, those
that
2
year,
winters.
The New Year's Day, it snowed, so 2013, January 1st. And then I think my older children came here in 2016. And that fall it snowed a little bit, but like an inch, just enough to...
Well, just to warn you, in case it happens again, occasionally we can have a year where you get snow that sticks. And like those years too, as a matter of fact, the winter of 2010-11, a lot of people lost their cacti.
Oh, yeah.
They died.
I love the cactus.
Yeah.
The trees out here, they remind me of something out of a Dr. Seuss book, especially the Lorax, because you see the Acatil and they have those little bushy on the top of them, and that reminds me of the Lorax bushes. But it's, I love it out here, and people, my children are here now, just my 2 older ones and some of my grandkids, and they're like, oh, it's so hot. I said, I love it. Yeah. I love it. But because they were all born in New England, so.
No, it's the weather's here really good. It's I mean, you still have a change of seasons, but it's not drastic.
No.
It's not drastic. Usually we have a pretty mild winter. Gets a little hot.
I like it. I only have to put a sweater on.
Yeah. And compared to Phoenix, during the summer, much nicer here.
Yeah.
Yeah, much nicer. I have to make that drive in the summer, and I dread that.
I do not like. No, it's too hot in Phoenix. I think the last time we were up near there, the last time I was up near there, it was like 125.
Yep, it can get really scorching.
I'm not going outside today.
Yeah. So.
Of course, I stay inside mostly with the air conditioning on anyway, so. I do like the weather out here. It's much better. So,
your business, like I said, you got a business in town. Well, in the county. In Cochise County, if you're in Benson, you're in Bisbee, you're in Wilcox or Sierra Vista or anywhere.
I had a couple of people call me from Douglas and one from Wilcox. Yeah.
And you need a good accountant to do your books, your payroll. You got some employees. Even if you have 1 or 2 employees, It's a good idea to have somebody do your payroll. Make sure it gets done accurately and right, and you keep track of everything. We have the person right here that can help you. Okay.
And if I can't, I can probably tell you somebody that can.
There you go. Yeah. And,
you know,
and be preventive. Keep good big books from the beginning, and it'll save you a lot of headaches down the road trying to go back and try to figure out where you made mistakes or forgot things or whatever. Keep track right from the get-go.
Well, and if you don't, you know, then it's trying to remember what that, you know, you have this receipt for $100 or whatever, and you have no idea what you did. You know, if you don't, like, at least keep it track of what you do.
And of course, the business owner always has to do their part too. You can't keep good books if they don't give you the right here. You know, here's the receipt. You got to be able to have them do their part. But it can be a big help. Definitely recommend you consider it if you do have a business or looking to open a business. If you're looking to open a business, it'd be a great opportunity to just get a bookkeeping set up from the get-go.
At the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
And it just would make your life so much easier.
Because, you know, when you open a business, you have all that startup cost.
Yeah.
You trying to keep track of all the things that you're spending money on just to open the doors.
Right.
You know?
And those are treated specially, you know, tax purposes. They're treated specially. So you need to keep those keep track of those. Your equipment, you purchase vehicles, you know, you have a landscaping business, you purchase equipment. You need to keep track of all that.
You got depreciation issues and things like that.
You know, and
some of that stuff.
that's part of the tax side of it. But you need to keep track of the cost and keep track of when you buy it and when you put it into service so that you have that information. And, you know, it just gives you peace of mind. It's just something else that you don't have on your plate that you have to take care of at 6 o'clock at night when you want to come home and have
that's
your
usually
dinner.
what you do.
When you want to come home and have your dinner, you know, you don't have to think about what's on the desk that you have
That's
to
a
go
good
through.
point. Most people that own a small business, they're working their business all day. They're doing their books at night. Kind of like a school teacher when she has to do all the grading at night at home. Well, it's true. Most small businesses are doing their books in the evening after the day's over, which makes for a longer day.
Yes.
Makes for a longer day. So
kind of defeats why you're in business for yourself, you know, so you can have time with your family, friends, you know, do things that you want to do. But you can't do that if you're always worried about, you know, what's on that back burner.
Okay. Oh, still just air up there. I have to look once in a while to see. So, okay. I think, is there anything else? Oh, we got something.
Chosen Martial Arts. Hi, Chosen.
Okay. We have another comment just wishing us.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's about it. Just, again, here we are, the Warrior Healing Center. And just to let you know, the Warrior Healing Center put this network together. It was out of their doing that brought us all together. Again, just another example of how they serve the community. I mean, they do so much.
And now you can network with other veteran businesses, you know, and get to know them. And it's a great way to build a community of businesses, of colleagues.
And that's what we're doing here at this show. The whole purpose of the show is to highlight different veteran-owned businesses and support each other. And we do have special events. Maybe one time we can have one there at the Landmark Center.
I'm trying to get Pam.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Maybe in the future,
trying to think of something that we could.
Because we just talked earlier about how nice it is there. You know.
As a matter of fact, she's having an event in October. So Tuesday night when we're here, we can talk about it.
Okay.
But because we'd like to get some of the. Oops, boop.
What? Oh, now we got some comments coming in. What's this?
Did you talk about Betty?
Oh, I didn't bring it up. I guess we can bring it up. Show them your tattoos. They want to see your tattoos. There you go.
So
I don't know.
I got Cupid over here. It's really strange. And I got Betty Boop over here. I got another Betty Boop on my leg. My obsession is Betty Boop. I love Betty Boop. Everything Betty Boop. And my mother and my family feed it. I have all kinds of Betty Boop paraphernalia. And Nightmare Before Christmas is my other obsession.
See, somebody knew that about you. Wanted it highlighted on this show.
Yeah. It's funny. This is the first tattoo I got, which is the Cupid on the moon. And I got that when my first granddaughter was born. I was 42.
Wow. Your first tattoo at that age.
42 years old.
Yeah.
I'd always wanted one, but never went for it.
Yeah,
now I'm addicted.
Well, it's interesting because when I was young, back a long time ago, tattoos were not a big matter of fact, it was kind of frowned on.
Yeah.
You right?
Yes,
it was kind of like, okay, back in that generation.
I remember that. Yeah. Growing up,
only certain people got tattoos.
Yeah, only certain types
like a
of
biker,
people get
or something like that. Bikers got them.
But now it's just so, there's a lot of artistic tattoos out there, and people get really elaborate with them, with their murals. And
even they start out young.
And they have different ink now, so they have the watercolor ink, and they have traditional ink, and they have, I think, like a fluorescent ink that kind of glows. So, it's more of an artistic thing now. And
it's very popular. Very popular now.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't hurt as much as you think.
My kids have tattoos, and they got them as soon as they turn 18. I'm 18 now. I'm getting a tattoo, and I'm like, well, I can't say anything, but that's fine.
My oldest son is really into them, but my daughter never did, and neither one of my other two sons are into them. But me and my oldest son, we have that connection. We like our tattoos.
Now we have to find out if there's any of the tattoo artists in town are veterans. We'll have to
we'll have to search find that out.
If anybody out there listening, if you know of one of the businesses in town, a tattoo artist, if they're a veteran, invite them to the Warrior Healing Center to join our network. We're building. We're growing. We're growing, not building. We're growing all the time. We're getting new members, but the key is that we want to.
The meetings, the monthly meetings.
Oh yes, we do have a meeting once a month, the second Tuesday, and then we have this podcast every Thursday where we highlight a different business every week, or a veteran. And then occasionally, not every month, but maybe bi-monthly, we're having special events like we did at JD's.
We just had one at Chill Factor.
Yep, and we're doing the next one.
It was really nice to
we're
get
doing
together and have that. Yeah.
We're doing the next one at our place
when is that?
It's going to be before Halloween.
Oh, are we going to have a Halloween party?
You said it. We are. We're going to have a Halloween party.
Halloween party.
Yep.
I love to dress up.
We are going to do a Halloween party. We got plans already. So it's
awesome.
We're looking for it. We decorate every year for all the holidays, and we go all out. So we have the decorations.
So I live in a over 55 community, and it's very nice, and neighbors are very nice. But last year, I was the only one that decorated Halloween and Christmas. And I'm big on I'm big on Halloween. I mean, I go all out. There's all kinds of gore. And I got a new decoration that I want to do this year. I'm just kind of wondering if it's going to blow everybody away.
We kind of toned down the gore for the store.
No, I like it all. I do.
Yeah.
I just went to see that movie Beast. That was really good.
Oh, really?
The new Idris Elba movie. It was really good.
It is that time of year for scary movies to come out.
Yeah. Can't wait.
So a lot of things to look forward to in the coming months. We're going to have this podcast. We're going to keep it going every week. religiously. We're going to have those special events at different business locations throughout town, or maybe even in other towns. We're going to set that up. We have our meetings every Tuesday. So we're working together to support each other, to help the community, to help the Warrior Healing Center. It's all about working together to help each other. It's altruistic.
Yeah.
Altruistic, but you know, in reality, when you help other people, you find out that it comes back to you.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, we don't always do it for that reason, but you're going to find out it comes back to you.
Well, you put good stuffs out. You take care of people. You're good to people. It'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do the same thing in business, you know. You
right.
You
take
do the
care
right
of
thing.
Your people. You
Yeah.
take care of your clients, your customers, and they'll come back and
Yep.
come back and come back, and they'll recommend you.
Yeah, you're building relationships. When you have
That's a lot of what business is.
you're
Just
building a relationship.
a good relationship with people.
Yeah.
You know,
And I'm sure with your business even more so, because you have clients that are actually intimate with their business dealings.
right.
You know, so they're sharing those intimate business dealings with you.
Right. And they have
So-
to trust that you're going to keep that, confidential.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I do.
Yep.
I'm very, I started out as a legal specialist. So
Yeah.
we do have a lot of confidential information that we keep.
Oh, yeah, that's important. Yeah. You can't be going,
you have
oh,
to-
yeah, guess how, oh, so-and-so, yeah, you can't be
You
sharing
have to
that
work
kind of
with
stuff.
people honestly. If
Yeah.
you're not going to deal with somebody honestly, then, your whole thing is you have to be honest.
Yep.
And I try to be as very honest as I can.
Yep. And if you do make an honest mistake, live up to it.
Exactly.
Fix it.
Face
Fix
the
it.
music and
Yep.
and let the band play.
Yep.
And then, do your best to correct it.
Yeah. I haven't heard that before. Face the music and let the
Let
band play. I've heard of face the music, but I haven't ever the follow-up. Let the band play. Otherwise, let it
Yeah.
kind of do its thing and get over it.
And sometimes it'll work out and sometimes it won't, But if you do your best and you deal honestly, then you've done what you can.
Okay. All right. I think this is a wrap. We're right about there.
It's a wrap.
So, and thank you
Where's
so
the-
much. Yeah.
End marker.
Thank you very much for joining
Well,
me
thank
tonight.
you for having me.
You
I
bet.
really enjoyed it. I
It
didn't know what I
was.
was going to talk about for an
See?
hour, but we did
See?
it.
An hour. It wasn't that rough,
It was
it?
not. It
No.
was not. It flew pretty
Yeah,
good.
and we didn't even have Eric. If Eric would have
We
been here.
miss you, Eric.
Yeah, it would have been even easier, but we did it on our own. We're we did it. But no, glad you came.
I'm glad I came
Again,
too.
we want to help you support your business. This is something to seriously think about if you do have a business. Get a good bookkeeping person, and you want a veteran. You want a veteran bookkeeper, somebody that you can depend on, somebody you can trust. Better Business Bureau rated, so that's quite an honor. And here we are at the Warrior Healing Center. Don't forget about the Warrior Healing Center. Support them and all the things that they do to help the community, as well as us veterans. So we're all helping each other. Now, next week.
Who do we have?
Next week, see me and Eric. Now you have to fill in for Eric. You asked me who our guest is next week.
Who is our guest next week?
Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out.
Oh,
Yeah, see, we never disclose.
That's not fair.
We never disclose because if you want to know who it is,
You
gotta
have to come watch.
You got to watch next week. So it's gonna be obviously somebody new, somebody we didn't have before. So you're gonna have to tune in and find out.
Awesome.
And
Thank
Eric,
you so much.
Eric
It was
should be
really
back
great.
too. All right. So we're gonna sign out. Thank you.
Bye.